Welcome, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Today, we are going to address an important and a critical topic regarding Lebanon power network. I would like to propose my view on the way forward and how can we overcome the current situation with the electric grid while we maintain high focus on advancing the agriculture, industrial, educations, and so on sectors. This topic, in my personal view, it's one of the most critical bones to make sure Lebanon continue its path to sustainable future. بالنسبة لي, this topic, the way forward, شو لازم نحن نعمل من هلأ ل5 سنين حتى نعمل achieve sustainability. At the same time, we need to focus on reducing the burden, الضغط المحطوط على financial system, الضغط المحطوط على agriculture, industry, education sector, telecommunication sector, while we maintain a sustainable network. This presentation is driven by the followings. In the past years, I read that the Lebanese government will invest $4 to $5 billion in wide range of power generations. This presentation will set my personal view. How can we tackle the issue in a short time and achieve a great result? And at the end, I put my proposal for the 5 years, how to achieve sustainability at lowest investment. Now, when I saw this stuff, كثير من people that I know in Lebanon, they send me a lot of documentation and I read a lot of documentation وقلت طيب 4 ل 5 مليار دولار بدنا نعمر فيه نحن power stations. The power stations always required coal, rely on dollars. هلا في بعض ناس بيقولوا انه نحن عندنا غاز بالبحر. We have gas, so we can rely on this. أنا بدي أقول شغلة واحدة. الدول اللي عندها high output of petrol, currently they're relying or they're actually switching to renewable energy for sustainability. يعني العالم اللي كان عندهم بترول أو يلي currently they have high output of petrol, they are going toward electric sustainability for renewable energy. طيب نحن, why do we have to reinvent the wheel? ما هن جربوا البترول and they saw إنه sustainability from an electric point of view, it's a future for a healthier life and for sustainable economic as well, you will see. After this investment, fuel, gas, and other are heavily rely on the dollar market. Irrespective, you still need money to take the gas out. You still have to pay dollars. The aim of this presentation, like I said, is personally, I would like to highlight an options, a way forward, an actual plan, an actual vision for us to achieve this sustainability at a shortest time and lowest investment. I will include a proposal for the power generation with minimal impact on the current financial market. And I really hope that this type of approach will be heard in Lebanon. According to the updated policy, I would like to, based on the updated policy in March 2019, these are the installed power stations. We have Deir Amar, we have Hraisha, Zouk, Jiye, Zahrani, and Sour. Also, the document said that we get from neighbor Syria 240 megawatt. These are the capacity of our generation system. We have a total maximum capacity of 1.785 gigawatt. I'm not sure if you're still getting this at this point, but let's consider that we still have this feed. 2019 Lebanon demand was almost 3.7 gigawatt, which equate to 48.6% of the required load. This 48.6%, that means I have full operation of my power stations. And I know that some power station, they run at 50 or maybe 60% of its rated power. According to the World Bank Group, they issued a paper study called Lebanon Cost of Service and Tariff Design Study in May 2020. They showed us the load for 2 years, and as you can see, every month, the first of every month. So our load varies between 2 gigawatt to 3.6, 3.7 gigawatt. I want you to notice that the peak or the heavy demand is June, July, August, September, October. Dive down in November. هيدي الصورة بتفرجينا الديماند بلبنان. نحن بنشوف انه الديماند هو اكثر شيء بيكون ب summer. So when it comes to these months, على هالاشهر هيدي, Lebanon is fortunate with its solar, wind, hydro, and biogas. We're going to come to this one. According to the World Bank, pay attention to this. The World Bank study shows we have a 34% losses. And it's worth noting that in the updated policy for the Ministry of Energy and Water in March 2019, they mentioned 38%. Let's stay with the 34%, which is divided by 14% technical losses, 20% non-technical losses. The cost, according to this document, the cost on EDL per kilowatt hour is 24 cents per kilowatt hour. This costed the Lebanese government or the financial system around $1.3 billion in subsidies, in debt, because the cost is 24 cents, and now you will see how much they are charging the customers. So guys, please keep this in mind, the 24 cents per kilowatt hour. The best forecast cost that I read, it's going to be around 15 cents per kilowatt hour. And guys, look at the tariff. This is the current tariff. I want to ignore the current financial market. 35 lira. 35 ليرة معناتها 2 سنت 2 سنت ونص. توصل لل 200 ليرة. حتى 200 Lebanese pound, it doesn't equate to 24 cents, ignoring the current financial market. يعني definitely we need to adjust. Definitely they must adjust these items for the way forward. هلا not this government or the government before, they proposed a new power plan, new power upgrade. This power upgrade is, they want to upgrade Deir Amal to 550 megawatt, Hraisha to 300 megawatt, then they introduced Sal'ata, 550 megawatt, Zouk upgraded to 550, Jia to 550, Zahrani to 550, and Sur will remain the same. All these power stations rely on gas. It's a fossil fuel. It's a fossil fuel. Investment, $4 to $5 billion in investment, so we can address Lebanon. So all our generation will happen on the coast, and then we use a transmission line to transmit it up to the mountain and to the Biqa Valley. To conclude, to solve the electric problem in Lebanon, two tasks. They need to update the tariff. This 15 cent, not on the current power generation, it's based on the proposed. Because under the proposed, they're going to reduce the cost of kilowatt hour. And they need to make sure that generation and distribution capacity can hold the load. Now, the question that I'm hoping that this presentation will answer, how can we achieve the optimum output while lowering the burden on Lebanon financial system and on the residents? يعني نحن بدنا نعمل proposal، بده يكون عندنا vision إنه what's a way forward؟ كيف نحن فينا solve this issue؟ نحل قصة الكهرباء بأقل الخسائر وبأسرع وقت. Before we go into this, I would like to share with you the cost of a different type of generations. نحن بلبنان we will have natural gas, inshallah, land-based wind. We can have a PV solar and biomass. As you can see, the cost of generations is very minimal compared to what we have now, 24 cents. We discussed in our previous video Lebanon capacity or capability, especially in the Bekaa Valley. And we discussed it in depth in these videos that's already been published on YouTube. So, look, if you remember, the Lebanese government planning to have a power station in here. And the way God, subhanallah, the highest power in Lebanon is located away from the water. يعني هيدي شغلة we should invest on. لازم نحن نفكر فيها. عندنا هون بحيرة القرعون، عندنا power generation على بحيرة القرعون، وعندنا all this area suitable for solar. More information فينا نروح على هالفيديو. هلا wind capacity, look at our wind capacity. In wind capacity we have a strong wind capability بين عكار والهرمل, and we have also strong wind capability على حدود السورية اللبنانية, وعندنا little bit فوق جونية انتوا طالعين بالجبال. So this capability for wind, so عندنا wind on this side, عندنا power generation on this side capability, وعندنا solar capability in between. So we have a hybrid, very solid hybrid system that we can invest, we can build on. This is your current system. Now, what I'm proposing to do, instead of currently now, if you want to invest into coal power stations, things going to take time. And also, you might also have to invest. When you build high power stations capacity, you might have to upgrade your transmission network and distribution. That's cost a lot of money and time. So the proposal to start with 1 gigawatt solar plant and 400 megawatt wind plant. So 1.4 gigawatt. The solar installation can happen fast. So this 1 gigawatt, if there is a plan and there's a decision and there's a fund, you can start. Within a few months, you can see some sort of output. بيصير عندنا نحن total capacity, current capacity 3.185 megawatt. Now, this capacity, especially the solar, it's a daytime. نحن we have to be very careful. Daytime. However, in Lebanon, daytime, if we can achieve daytime, 300 days a year, daytime, we can give him sufficient daily power. We can save the school, university, hospitals during the day. And mainly in this region, عندنا زحلة, مدينة الصناعية, the industry area in Zahle district, we have all these people rely on irrigation system that they only water during summer, spring, autumn, and daytime. They're happy with this. So if you provide them with the power, it's not only you are providing with the power from the grid, you are saving on the subsidy of your diesel and the burden of the dollars. This cycle repeat itself. يعني نحن اعطيناهم كهرباء من الطاقة الشمسية خلال النهار for the irrigation. بطل لازم يروحوا يستعملوا الديزل. يعني نحن عندنا كان سبسيدي للديزل cost a lot of money the government. ما عاد في طلب على الدولار. يعني we reduce the impact on the dollars. نحن الكوست we propose a cost of the PV plant is 400 million roughly, and a 300 million to start with. Of course, you're not going to finish it all of it with this cost, but to start with this arrangement. You start with this 400 million and 300 million to support these areas. Okay? Now. We're proposing to start with a $700 million in investment. This $700 million, the bulk supply, let me give you a quick figure from overseas. 1 megawatt solar system, it's about $700,000. So in Lebanon, might be cheaper because of the labor and so on, but let's assume it's around 700. When I invest 400, so that will give me about half gigawatt of solar, and then we increase it. So the 700, the 1 gig required 700 million for solar, and for the wind you will have 400 million. What do we have? No fuel required, which reduce the burden on the current financial market. وهلا شرحناها هيدي. إذا I lower the requirement of diesel, this will lower the impact on your financial market. ما بعيد حدا يطلب الدولار. Project can be completed within 1 year. When I want to install this capacity, and especially when I spread it around and I allocate it to multiple contractors, we can wrap things up to finish within 1 year. Strengthen the network stability by providing strong power source in Bekaa Valley and mountains. هيدي it's a valid argument. لما بيكون أنا عندي two strong nodes of power, I can stabilize. When I want to bring heavy load, يعني heavy power transfer من الساحل البحر from the sea all the way up to the mountain or to the Bekaa Valley, the transmission line, especially during summer, under heat, it will be under pressure. كرمال هيك, this is a very valid point to have stability of your network. شغلة تانية مثل ما حكينا, daily power support the irrigation and farmers, support the agriculture and support your school, support your colleges, your universities. يعني عم تعطون. It's not only that, the communication towers in this area, in Bekaa Valley, up the mountain, they have all day support from this plant that we propose. This reduction in transmission and distribution losses, احنا شفنا technical losses, it's very high. Increase the supply period during the day. يعني during the day, when I have supply from this renewable energy بالبقاع, the power that was transferred to بقاع will go toward the coast. يعني حتى المصانع والمعامل والمدارس بالساحل, they will get the benefit from it. The remaining gap, يعني نحن عندنا we still remaining gap after sunlight. This plan, the stage number 1, will tackle the industry, the agriculture, يعني المزارعين، المصانع الصغيرة، المصانع المتوسطة، المصانع الكبيرة، المدارس، الجامعات، الهوسبيتالز، كل هدول بالنهار. هلا based on the information، المعلومات اللي عم تتوارد من لبنان انه في كميات ضخمة كتير من البطاريات، حتى من الليثيوم ايرون بطاريات لايفبو نزلت على السوق. يعني حتى في كتير عالم قادرين يركبوا system that will support them during night outage. يعني نحن مش حنحل القصة in one step، بس هيدا within a year عندنا daytime sustainability or 90% sustainability. When you see the saving, you know what I'm trying to say. Tariff change to capture the supply period. When you change the tariff, you will force or you will educate or you enhance. تخلي ساعتها resident الشعب اللبناني to better manage their load for advanced sustainability. Now, 1 gigawatt PV solar system, large land required, guys. Look, it doesn't require a lot of land for it to be installed. On top of that, بالمنطقة هون, we're not proposing to put it in one location, spread it. So the load will not put burden on the transmission network. وما بيعيد, there is no requirement to install a new transmission and distribution network. Had a part of the vision that need to be studied and looked at. Now, I want to focus on this point, that the solar system, the maximum will give me, pay attention, look guys, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. It's giving me strong output. This generation is based on 14.08% when we run it into the simulation. DC to AC factor 1.1. These are reasonable. This 14%, it's very conservative for us. Remember, generation revenue, every 1 kilowatt hour, we said that currently costs EDL 24 سنت. يعني هدول عم يطلعوا 398 مليون ليرة. مليون دولار. $398 million. These elements. Focus on this figure and you will see what I'm trying to say. Okay guys, so by installing the system, of course it's going to cost money. We said that it's going to cost 700 or 800 million to do this 1 gigawatt. So within 2 years plus, you'll get your investment back and then you will have a free electricity. Now, there is options. Country worldwide rely on a private investors, and currently this is a viable, that there are wide range of private investors overseas that they will install the solar farm and they will sell it 9 to 11 cents per kilowatt hour. The government only pay for the kilowatt hour that consumed. Currently, I'm hearing news that we are going to buy electricity for 13 cents from our neighbor Jordan. Why we don't invest this option? We need to look into this option. Bring investors. They will install this system. They will pay for the maintenance. They will pay for the installation. They will only get paid for this for a certain year. And then all this infrastructure will come back to the Lebanese government. Guys, 1 gigawatt, the generation of 1 gigawatt, the government will pay 182 million based on 11 cents. However, the current cost on the government for the same amount currently is $398 million. This equates to a saving of 260 million. And it's worth noting that if you go with the private investors, the government invests $0. The problem to attract the investors, you have to have a proper financial system that you let the investor to trust. Now, if there's no investors, this bank, World Bank, that we want to get the money from, why we don't invest in us building this and maintain it? See the saving? It's huge. So now, after you invest all this money, the saving or the advancement in our financial system, I can go work on 1,200 megawatt. I don't need any more to go ahead and invest in millions. So this plan will be for 5 years. That we plan for 5 years to achieve sustainability. No one comes tell me within a year you're going to have 100%. Even if you build all your power stations, you still have a problem with the distribution, transmission, and no one can build that fast. So we have to be realistic. We update the tariff. We must update the tariff. When you update the tariff, you give the people electricity at least during the day. At least during the day, they're getting their manufacturing, they're getting their every day-to-day life. It's going. Currently, هن in reality عم تكلفهم أكثر من 10 سنت. أكثر من 10 سنت بكتير. Nowadays, because of the diesel, the cost of the diesel. So, summary, installation of a sustainable renewable energy system offer Lebanon the following. Option of $0 upfront investment if they can find. Now, if they cannot find, irrespective, we are going to buy or to get a grant. نحن عم نروح على البنك دولي وعم نجيب قرض. هالقرض, let's use it wisely. Let's have a vision. خلينا نستعمل هالقرض بطريقة إنه أنا if I put the money after it ما بيعد عندي cost associated with it. We reduce the yearly deficit. Now, this 0.7 billion, it's related on the dollars impact. It's related, this factor that we did the calculation, related on the diesel impact, related on the gain for all the sectors when you have the system. You must factor all this in. During the peak season, أي متى عنا peak season شفناه based on the World Bank document, نحن عنا إياه بالشهر June, July, August, September, November, October. يعني عنا إياه during the peak season where the solar is capable to give you a strong output. We have a daily power availability for industry and farming purposes. Look guys, see? During this season, I have a strong output of my PV solar system. Now, the yearly saving on the deficits can be used for a 5 years plan. In أنا saving that I'm حطه from the deficit I can put it in a 5 years plan to either pay my loan or to invest into stronger power generation, into other renewable energy, natural gas combined. The harvesting of the delicious fruit can commence within a month. Months يعني عدة أشهر ببين عندكم تغيرات. This will reflect positively on the current situation in all aspects. In the communication, telecommunications, educations, industry, agriculture, in all aspects, also on the financial when it comes to dollars. Now, reduce the impact of the dollars and petrol prices. It's a win-win for everyone. And finally, my vision to have the followings in conjunction with the power generations. This biogas plant, you can encourage people that have farmers to use their agriculture to actually generate electricity. They have their own generations. So we have a strong plan that can help us achieve step-by-step sustainability. Please stop focusing only on traditional I want to go to a major countries that have a major oil. They're spending billions and billions on renewable energy because they know, they have a vision that renewable energy, you put it, maintenance very minimal, and that's it, goes. In Lebanon, I have the 60 days, rainy, cloudy. I have a burden on this plant, which is people can help with the coming electric vehicle, you have an energy storage, with installing their own energy storage system, with some sort of subsidies. There are plenty of options to think outside the square and have a sustainable system. Now, these figures, total private generation, 4,984 gigawatt hour. The total cost on the government, $500 million or more. The total cost saving between the 11 cent and the 24 cent currently, it's a huge, almost $0.65 billion. 0% upfront on the government if they manage to find the private. If not, like I said before, irrespective, they are getting a loan. And I'm planning to have a live session. We'll have arranged for a live session one day, maybe over Zoom, to have some sort of discussion and question. I really hope you enjoyed today's presentation, and I will see you next time.